I've still been getting quite a few requests to do a look or first impression demo on the Anastasia Amrezy palette, so I went ahead and did that today. I did the look that is on my eyes right now, which if you're interested in seeing how they applied upon first application and the look that's on my eyes, you can hang tight towards the end of the video and it will be there. I'm stuttering. The box packaging of the palette mimics the actual palette, so it just looks like so, and there is tell you how much product is in here if I can find it. 10 eyeshadows at 0.025 ounces a piece. So the amount of product you're getting per shadow is kind of small, and I can't remember exactly what I paid for the palette. I want to say it was between 30 and 40 bucks. I'll list it like right here. And Ulta has it, and I got mine off of the Anastasia website. So here is the actual palette right here. And inside you have you have a mirror on one side and you have your 10 eyeshadows on the other. And then you also have a double-ended synthetic brush, which it doesn't feel like bad quality or anything like that. I just can't be pulled apart from my Goss and Chikuhodo Hakuhodo brushes, so I didn't use it. But it is there, and it seems like it could be convenient for on the go. So as far as the shadows are concerned, there are 6 shimmer shades and there are 4 matte shades. I think that the colors are really pretty. They're really jewel toned. I tried to use as many as I could with the look. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used 6 of the shades with the eye look that is on my eyes right now. And from using them, I feel like as a palette as a whole is missing, it's missing like with all these pretty mattes down here, they're all pretty deep. It's kind of missing a middle ground shade, I think, or like a transition type shade, unless you wanted to use these shimmers, which is fine. But when you're working with these real matte and jewel tones, it would have been nice to have a matte transition shade in there, and then as well as possibly instead of 2 fairly light highlight shades, one of them could have been a matte as well, since there are so many pretty matte shades in there. The shadows performed really nice. They blended nice. They have great pigmentation. The only thing was about 4 of the shades I'd say I did have fallout with them. It wasn't like over the top, oh my gosh, fallout, but it was there. So I do want to make note of that. But I really liked the look that came out of it. They were very easy to work with. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and zoom into the palette and show you guys up close, and then also I will give you guys some swatches. So here's an up close of the palette. Everything appears to be showing up pretty true to color based on what I see in the viewfinder. So you have Legend, Glisten, Topaz, Iridescent Purple, Emerald, Vanilla, and those all have a shimmer or a sheen to them. And then you have Caramel, Morocco, Deep Plum, and LBD, which are all matte shades. I'll go ahead and swatch these 4. Right there. So as you can see, it packs really nice pigmentation there. We'll swatch them. So those are the first 4. Then I'll swatch Emerald and LBD real quick, which is, the LBD is a matte, the Emerald is a shimmer. Those ones look like that. And then these last 4 on the bottom. Right there. They look like that. And then I'll show you guys what the brush it comes with a little smudger on one end, and then a flat, kind of fluffy flat shader brush on the other end. So it just looks like that. It says Anastasia Beverly Hills on there. The palette performed nice with the exception of the fallout. And then too, I did use 6 shades, and I really liked that upon blending and all of that stuff, I was able to not only blend, but I could build and add product as well, and then nothing went patchy. Everything kind of meshed well together, and you can distinguish each color that I used on the eye. Like you can see the Ready Brown, which is the caramel shade. You can see the Morocco through here. You can see the iridescent purple right there. So you can distinguish the shades, and it didn't go muddy, which I was kind of, when I was picking out the shades to use, I had that in the back of my mind thinking, I hope this doesn't get muddy, and I don't think that it did. I think that I can, you know, see all the colors, which is, I think is great. So real quick, I'll show you guys a comparison of the 3 Anastasia palettes that I do have. This one over here is the Amrezy palette. The one in the middle is the Catwalk palette, and the one Over here is the Lavish palette. So there are a few shades that are kind of similar from the Amrezy palette and the Lavish palette there. So if you're interested in seeing a demo on how these eyeshadows applied upon first use and the look that is on my eyes right now, you can hang tight and we will get into it right now. So I've already primed my eyes from the lash line to up underneath the brow with the Tarte CC Colored Clay Eye Primer. It looks like this. It's a fairly new product from Tarte. Second time using it. So far so good. On a Goss number 18 brush, I'm going to dip into the shade Legend, which is this one right here. Just pick up some of that and tap off any excess, and I'm going to go ahead and pack this all over the lid. I have some fallout on my face here. Now on a Goss number 3 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Vanilla right there, and I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath the brow. I'm going to try to use as many shades as I can out of the palette. Now on a Hakuhodo blending brush, I'm going to go ahead and pick up the shade Deep Plum, which is one of the matte ones. Pick up some of that, tap off my brush pretty good, and then I'm going to go into the crease with it. Pick up a little bit more. I have fallout with that shade too here, just a minute. Now on a Hakuhodo slim like pencil type brush, I'm going to pick up that shade, the same Deep Plum shade, and sharpen up the outer portion of my eye in lieu of tape. I'm going to go ahead and get that in the crease there too. There's some gaps in there. I can feel shadow on my face again. A little bit more fallout on there. Now on a Goss number 19 brush, I'm going to dip into this shade right here, which is called Iridescent Purple. I'm just going to pick up a tiny bit of that, tap off my brush, and I'm going to put it right in the start of that Deep Plum shade here. Bring it just a tiny bit up like that. Just right there. And now I'm going to pick up the shade Morocco on that same Goss 19 brush. And then I'm going to use that color to blend out the edge of those other two shadows that we put down. And I'm going to stamp it kind of right in the middle of the line there. There's a cat biting my foot. I'm going to pick just a tiny bit more up of that Morocco shade on that Goss 19 brush here and continue to blend that out a little bit. Just ever so slightly touching the skin because they're pretty pigmented. Now looking at this, I wish that there was a shade between the lights and then these darker ones that was matte to blend out the rest of that, but there isn't, and I kind of don't want to use a shimmer up there, so I'm going to go ahead and dip into the caramel shade ever so slightly because they're pretty pigmented shades, and that's also a matte. I'm going to finish blending out that top part here. Now I'm going to go in with a Goss number 3 brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that Legend, because I think I want a little bit more gold underneath the brow instead of that white color, and I'm just going to put it up here. I should have just used that shade to begin with underneath the brow, I think, but I'm going to go back in with the 19 brush and pick up a little bit more of the Morocco shade here and put that through the crease a little bit more. I'm going to fade it upwards a bit too. And then I'm going to take that Hakuhodo brush that we put the deep plum shade in with, and I'm not going to pick up any more product, but I'm just going to kind of blend that up a bit through the crease here. I'm going to go back in with this Hakuhodo blending brush with the iridescent purple, pick up a little bit of that, tap it off, and put a little bit more intensity right here. And blend out this front part with the number 3 brush, the Goss 3 brush here. So there's the eyeshadow done on one eye. I like how I can distinguish all the colors in the look. Like I can pick out each color that I laid down, and they did blend very nice. I did have fallout with quite a few of the shades actually. For lips, I chose this Clinique Quickliner for Lips in the color 10 Baby Buff. It's just kind of a nude lip liner. I'm just going to go ahead and line them and bring it in slightly. Now I'm going to go ahead and fill in my lips with the Bite Beauty High Pigment Pencil in the color Syrah, spelled S-Y-R-A-H. Everything will be listed down below. I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my entire lips with this pencil. So there is the overall finished look using the Anastasia Amrezy palette. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!